Hello, everybody, and welcome one more time with my guest today, Tasha Ina Church. And I'm going to let her say her Indigenous name.
Aloha from Maui, folks. My Indigenous name is Imote, which means strives for empowerment of the Stalo Nation.
That's beautiful. I let you say it because I totally respect those names and I do not want to mess it up. But for people that are listening today, I think it's so important to know that you are connected all over the world. You are an Indigenous entrepreneur, a course creator, an author, and founder of ElleLiveAction. And through your empowerment coaching, you help clients overcome barriers to be their own hero. You've impacted over 13,500 students across 129 countries, promoting self-care, healing, and empowerment. I feel very blessed to have you on the Countdown 2025.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
And I can't wait for people to enjoy your magic, enjoy your meditation, and really get into the full, the full, how I'm missing my words here, but like the full magic of what you're going to bring for the Countdown 2025. But before we get there, I would like people to know who you are and what you do. So can you share a moment or an experience that sparked your passion for what you do? How does this passion translate into your work that you offer?
Awesome. Thank you for the question. I am an empowerment coach and I do empowerment self-defense all over the globe through my business, ElleLiveAction. And I was inspired to do this work originally just because of my experiences as a survivor. I think that so many of us can all relate to growing up and having experiences as a young one and not knowing what to do in those situations. And so I had something I called the Trinity of Change, which were I had multiple stalkers in my life. And I also loved to dance. I think that as women, putting ourselves out there and feeling beautiful, we're not feeling beautiful for other people. We want to feel beautiful for ourselves. And so I loved going out dancing, and I used to dance multiple nights a week. And after I had turned 21, I used to go salsa dancing. And after a year into salsa dancing, one of the top salsa dancers in Seattle asked if he could buy me a drink, and he roofied it. I was actually taken from the ballroom that I was at, and I had to defend myself. And so I was able to get out of that situation. They drove me over an hour away from the ballroom, but I hit the person with a pair of keys and I ran. And I was driving myself home that evening, and I just remember this is the most compromising situation I had ever been in, and I think that this is one of the most compromising situations that a lot of women have gone through. And why not do something about it? And so I had already been teaching martial arts, and I wanted to put together a curriculum for women and girls that was relevant, that wasn't just someone grabs you here, you do this. I wanted it to be more comprehensive and for people to wear what they would normally wear. And so I dressed up in 3-inch heels and a dress, and not to say that every single woman wears 3-inch heels and a dress, but I thought this is it. This is the scariest situation I've ever been in. And so I had my self-defense partner, who's like a brother to me. He and I went through over 800 self-defense moves, and we came up with a set group of moves that worked really well no matter what I was wearing. And I put those together in a curriculum, and I started teaching women's self-defense and pitched it to schools. And I ended up doing a schools program in Washington in 2012 that started in one school and went to four. And I was asked to do that school district wide. And so I was really excited about the opportunity. However, I'd fallen in love at that point, and my partner had asked me to move to Maui. And so I moved here, and I started my business, ElleLiveAction, and I have not looked back. I've had some really amazing experiences that have brought me on the path to doing the work that I do, the ones that I just shared with you. Also, what brought me to doing online courses. I remember, and I think that so many of us who are doing work that we love and are trying to figure out, is this the work that I'm supposed to be doing, or should I do a 9-to-5 job? We have this moment. And so I remember just after so many days of offering all of these self-defense classes and having a really challenging time getting people in, because there was a martial arts school where a guy had said free women's self-defense, and I was charging, and found out that that was a very predatory school. But I kept on promoting, and I would have some days where it would be like, 10 people, yay, and then other days where it was just like two or one person. And I just remember sitting before class one day and thinking, oh my God, what if no one shows up? And I just said, universe, God, whatever you believe in, if I'm meant to do this work, give me a sign. Show me something. And this woman walked in, and I said, I'm really sorry, but you're the only one here. And I'm happy to do this training with you, but it would just be us. And her face lit up, and she was so excited. And she was like, I am so excited. I get a private lesson. Like, this is huge. And so then she told me that she had an incident 20 years before where she was assaulted at knife point at a school campus. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard a story similar. And so for that private lesson, I showed her all of the things, told her what she could say, things that we could practice together. So we talked about scenarios, and we practiced and acted them out. And at the end of it, she just looked me dead in the eye, and she just said, everyone needs what you offer. And then she told me that she was an influencer online. She doesn't normally tell people that, but she was in women's health, and she did online courses for a living, and I should do an online course. And I thought, who's going to want an online self-defense course? But she's like, no, we can make it tangible for people. We can connect it, and there's a methodology that we can use. And so I'd go on hikes with her, and she was talking to me, and I was listening to it, and she's like, you could literally get this done one day. And I thought, okay, I could do this. And so I ended up getting somebody from my yoga class, and her son, who was a black belt in Taekwondo, and he was my attacker. And we literally went through all of these moves. I put together a course, and I launched it in 2018. And nobody thought that I was going to, I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I sold 13 courses. That was it. And I just thought, well, that was an interesting experiment. And then the pandemic was happening, and domestic violence skyrocketed. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to, look into statistical data, what's going on here. And it said that there was a spike of like 46% in Hawaii for domestic violence. And so I gifted 46 courses to people. And then I had just an amazing experience where I started putting myself out there and thinking, who's good at marketing online courses? And there was
No, I lost you. I can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can.
Oh, good.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, don't worry, we'll cut out that part. So you left it as who's good in marketing?
It was good in marketing. And then I found that there were a couple of course creators, and I decided I'd just throw in my hat and say, hey, I have a whole course. It's all done. I have a workbook. It's done, all these things. And I was reshooting the course too because it was 2018 and this was 2020. And so I had actually found Tony Robbins' bodyguard who was meditating on a rock at a waterfall, and my phone had fallen deep into a pool, and so he saved it. And my friend got his phone number, and I thought he's the perfect guy to beat up. And so I asked him, can you do this online course? So he did a new online course with me that did not take just one day. And that was the course that I ended up pitching to all of these different places. And the Transformation Academy actually responded back, and the owner of the Transformation Academy, her name was the same name as my friend who was in the videos. Go figure. So yeah, so it was fate, and long story short, there you have it. I'm in 129 countries now, and it's kind of a beautiful thing.
That is amazing. I love that story. Nothing happens just because, right? Everything has a reason.
Very true.
Yeah, and following your intuition, just wow, 129 countries, that is huge. That is huge. I don't know if you know how big that is, but it is big.
Yeah, I remember, so the first course, because I have how many courses now? I think I have 8 courses online. A lot of them are through the Transformation Academy, so like coaches can get their own certification and accreditations, which is awesome. Like, who knew that's possible? And they can get their own CEUs for like continuing education stuff. So they have that, and then I have my courses that are just, for people who don't want to become a coach, but they want to just have the knowledge and the skills. And the first course that launched, it went to 78 countries in 2 weeks, and I literally face planked. I couldn't even fathom it. And yeah, and we had I live in Lahaina, and so we actually had the Lahaina fire last year, and I launched a self-healing course the same week. It wasn't my plan; it was the coaching company's plan. So it was kind of an interesting thing that it would come out the same week as the fire. But I had a really challenging time getting my creativity back, and I know that for so many people, there's like that stagnation. And I don't know, something in me just sort of fired up at the beginning of this year, and it was like, no, it's time to get back in it, get moving. And I contacted the first person who invested in me as end my business by, she used to actually own the gym that I taught self-defense at when I first made my first online course. And she was a business coach. And so she's like, you should have a book. And I had been working on a book for like 2 years. I had like a couple books going, and it was just like, maybe it'll come together, maybe it won't. And she pushed me really hard. And then I launched all of these books in June, and all 3 became best-selling books within like 24 hours of launching. So lots of just really incredible things. I don't understand quite how it all happened, but I'm really grateful.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And so right now, if people want to work with you, it's through the online courses, or do you still do some things physically with people?
I do actually. So there's a retreat center in Hawaii, upcountry, that I do somatic healing work on, and then there's a place called Kapalua Wellness here that I do meditation and I do weekly offerings, and a lot of it is for the community, but it's also for tourists as well. But I love doing online coaching. So I do a self-care academy, and I just finished my second cohort. First cohort, I think there were 70 people from around the world, and this last one, I think it had 50. And basically, I'm building this community of people who are in the self-care community who want to support one another. And so the next one is going to be in January 8th. I'm really excited for that. But I also offer them in between and other people online coaching. So I'll do coaching and work with people in different areas, whether it's if they want to create their own self-care plans, or they want to do somatic work like somatic EMDR. I ended up getting my integrated somatic EMDR training certification, or I've done empowerment self-defense online as well. So it's a lot of different offerings, and it's interesting that it's boiled down to essentially me doing empowerment coaching and self-care coaching, and it's delved into all those different realms.
And that's beautiful. And we're going to put all the handles below if you want to reach out to Tasha. I have a last question for you. If you could leave the audience with one piece of advice or insight that you found to be transformative, what would it be and why?
So I believe that empowerment, it goes beyond just physical aspects. It also encompasses mental and emotional. And so it's that belief that you have a voice, and your voice is very powerful. And so understanding that in any fight, whether that be physical, mental, or emotional, believing that you are truly worth fighting for. I think that that's so important for everyone to understand and really feel in their bones and believe. And that's not just, oh, I have a confrontation with this person. No, it's like fighting for yourself when it means that you need time for yourself. You need self-care. You need a day off. You need to negotiate pay. There's so many different ways that we don't necessarily correlate with fighting for ourselves, but we need to be able to stick up for ourselves and utilize our voice.
Yeah, for sure. It's not only going like this, right? It's actually speaking it out. I can totally relate to that. I want to thank you so much for being here, taking the time to bring your gift to the Countdown 2025. And because you do somatic, because we're walking into 2025, what would be one action that you encourage everybody to take to make this year the most empowered and aligned year yet?
Take the time to get outside every single day and go for a walk, even if it's just 10 minutes, because the bilateral stimulation will actually work with acclimating your synapses, so that if you have experienced trauma or if you have dealt with challenging events, then it will reacclimate your body.
Beautiful. Thank you so much again for your presence, for your time, for your gift, and everybody watching today. Get into that meditation and get in touch with everybody on the Countdown. Everybody has brought so much joy, so much power to this Countdown, and I hope that you're going to enjoy this meditation.
Yes, I'm excited to offer a walking meditation in my favorite labyrinth here on Maui.
Beautiful. Thank you again.
Thank you. Mahalo. Aloha.